Welcome back to Figure Depot. Today we're taking a look at the Legendary Riders Wolverine from Marvel Legends by Hasbro. Let's do it. So we got the window box style package, just in a much larger form, with a window on the top to let light into the package so you can see it. On the back we have some product shots, images of the figure, etc. On the side we have some cool artwork and the same artwork on the other side. Let's get them open and see what's inside. Alright, this is a anonymous birthday present from someone who wishes it not be known that it was gifted to me by them. So thank you, anonymous gifter. This is freaking amazing. And yeah, I know this is an older piece, a couple years old. I remember I first saw it walking into GameStop and they had just put them out, and I didn't have the money at the time to get it, and I was like, I'll just try to scrounge up some money and hurry back. And by the time I got back, they were all sold out, and then I never saw another one in the wild. And then yeah, so the person who got it for me found out about that event and got it for me for my birthday. I just turned 40, and so happy birthday to me. Super excited. It's a very cool piece. Totally stoked to have it. I love motorcycles, period. I would love a Honda Shadow one day. Wouldn't mind a Harley Fat Boy, but they're like 2 or 3 times the price of a Honda Shadow. So yeah, definitely would be content with a Honda Shadow. They're beautiful bikes. My dad started out on one and then went to a Yamaha Royal Star Venture. But anyway, not that you needed to know any of that information. So here's the figure in the package with his wonky Hasbro claws. We've got the patch head, the standard head that comes with this Wolverine, which is kind of a windswept, barreling down the highway look. We'll look closer at that in a minute. We get 2 alternate hands that can hold the handlebars of the motorcycle. We get the motorcycle, saddlebags, and handlebars, so some assembly required. Alright, here he is out of the package. My claws were very warped on this Wolverine, which is not uncommon for these guys. I did some swapping around of the positions of the claws within the hand, and I've gotten them spread out fairly decently, and without having to add any heat or anything. So we'll look at some of the details of the motorcycle and then put it together. And then I would like to take a look at a bunch of the different Wolverine figures I have in my collection and see if we can do some head swaps and some little quick kit bashes, and also want to look at some options for the patch figure. And some of these have been done before, but there's one in particular that I have not seen done that I think would look pretty cool. So we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. First we get the handlebars for the motorcycle, and they look really good. You've got this awesome tachometer or speedometer on the in the middle here, and then the handlebars, and this actually goes this way. But we get some black paint here, flat black paint on the handlebars for some color variation, which is cool. There's no decal here on the mirror, but I'm thinking about taking my liquid chrome pen and filling that in, and it'll have a nice reflective surface. So that would give that a mirror-like surface. May do that, we'll see. We also get these awesome saddlebags, and they do open, and you can store things inside there, so that's fun. They do not actually buckle like actual buckles, those just slide in behind there, which is nice and easy to get it open and closed, so you don't have to fool with buckles, which would be a pain in the butt. But you got this nice texture on there to give it a real amazing leather grain appearance. You also get stitching around the side of the bags themselves, so lots of great detail, and a very cool addition. There is a slot here which will peg it onto the side of the bike, and then these 2 peg holes here which go to the other set of saddlebags, so you just plug those 2 together. You also have a peg here and a peg hole on the top of the motorcycle here, and there's the piece that plugs into the saddlebag. We'll do that in just a minute, but let's look kind of closer at the motorcycle real quick before we put them together. So you can see the sculpt work here is fantastic. Really, really nice job there. But it does lack a little bit in paint. So this blue plastic is very cool. It's got a nice metallic sheen to it, which is really nice. But no dry brushing, no anything to really highlight all these amazing details. We get some nice rubber wheels. We do have sprocket, but no belt or chain or anything. So I'm not sure if this is intended by design to be a chain-driven or belt-driven bike, but noticing the bike itself, it does have, at the top of the forks here, you can see very reminiscent of a Harley Fat Boy. Some other elements, some of the exhaust features here kind of remind me of a Yamaha. There's parts of it that remind me of a Honda Shadow. They can't really do, you know, specific bikes without paying a licensing fee, so they've kind of borrowed from several different bikes out there to come up with the overall look of the bike. I really like the orange turn signals here, and then we get a plastic piece here to mimic an actual headlight, so that's very cool. Nice spokes on the wheels there, look really good, and you can see it rolls very freely and looks really cool. So digging that. One thing I noticed on these tend to droop a little bit, and oh, we also got some turn signals here in the back as well, and probably serve as brake lights. But yeah, these are a little wonky, so you may need to heat this, bend it up, and then cool it back off again and let it harden again. And I did notice that these peg on here to the frame, something I've never noticed before about these, so that kind of keeps that in place, which is nice. But yeah, the exhaust pipes do kind of droop a little bit, so we'll go ahead and punch this on. You just have a hole here, and then you have little pegs on here, and I don't know why this keeps going out of focus, but it does. So we'll just plug him right down in there. Gotta be careful so that I don't damage the pegs. There we go. So he just punches down in there, and you can get it back off again. It doesn't like lock into place or anything permanently, but it is a good snug fit in case you don't want to remove it. You do have a kickstand down here, so you can fold it up or you can drop it down. And it does go all the way forward, but it's so high that it like tilts the bike over too far, so it's not really useful. So I pretty much just keep it kind of in this neutral position right here in the middle, and it'll stand just fine. So we'll take our saddlebag here with our notch, plug it onto this fin here on the side, get that good and snug. We'll wrap that over the top and peg it down, and then let that one just hang over the side. And so there's our bike complete. One thing you will know about the other side is you can see the screw holes. I may fill that with some kind of putty and sand it, and then go back and dry brush that motor and kind of give it some more character. I'll show you, when we got the Captain America bike, which the Punisher is currently enjoying, you can see all the dry brushing and stuff they did, which really looks nice and adds a whole new dimension to that component of the bike. So I'll probably end up doing some of that same stuff on here. Now, taking a look at Wolverine, of course, we get the patch head here, which looks really nice. Mine has a little spot where they missed some of the black paint. Or I think they actually went over with the face paint, maybe. Actually, I don't think that's painted. I think the black is the paint, so I think they just had a little sputter there. But I'll touch that up, no problem. But the hair looks amazing on this. It's a really good hicker for Wolverine. You know, like the Vintage Wave one, it just wasn't really great. But they've really done a nice job of kind of getting that spiky, pointy swoosh that his hair has in the comics. So yeah, I like this head sculpt a lot. we get the alternate hands. We've seen these before. It's just 6-inch action figure hands, nothing special there. And then let's take a look at Wolverine. So he's got a wife beater on that has some nice ribbing. I don't know if it's coming off on camera, but you can see there it has the texture of an actual wife beater. The face sculpt on this guy is, some of these were really bad. Mine actually happened to be one of the good ones, which I'm happy about. It's some of them, like the eyes were sunk back in the head, and like there were just little slits where his eyes are supposed to be, and they just were really weird. But this one actually is one of the better ones from what I've seen, so yay for that. We do get some textured denim jeans. We've seen these by now on the Cowboy Logan variant, and that belt buckle is the same from Old Man Logan, but the texture on the pants is different. So I think it's just a retooling of the original pants that Old Man Logan wore. You can see the style is the same, but the texturing is deeper and grittier on those. And then of course the boots are a little different. Old Man Logan's boots have a nice little design on them, and these for Logan are just smooth with the Legendary Rider set. You can see they have the same belt buckle like I mentioned, but they have a different torso. So the overall design of the muscles is the same, but there is a difference in that this is smooth and it has a like button collar, whereas this is a tank top. So a little bit different design there, but very cool. And we'll take a look at some other head swaps and options a little bit later in the video. Alright, in terms of articulation, the head will go up to there really far, which is nice. We'll go down, straight down, which is great. We do, of course, rotate 360 and get just a little bit of head tilt. The arms will go out pretty far to there. We do get a bicep swivel. You know Wolverine's articulation by now. Big old chunky forearms and biceps give him a little bit better than 90 degrees, maybe about a 120, 130 degree bend. They will straighten out to about there. His don't go all the way straight just because of the design. And we do get a 360 swivel at the wrist, and then of course we get swivels and hinges at the wrist. And then we get our claws that we can articulate, remove and put back in or whatever. We do get a 360 rotation there, of course. No butterfly joints like we were used to seeing on some of the newer. We do get a crunch down, we get a crunch back. So real nice range of motion there. We get a swivel at the waist, legs kick about to there. We kick back, not really a lot unless you kind of bring them out. We do get a swivel at the thigh, double jointed knees. We do get swivel, an up and down rocker, and ankle pivot. So lots of articulation at the ankles for this guy. Alright, so if you have the Gray Hulk, and you have the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, and you have the 2-pack Hit Monkey and Deadpool Miami Vice box set, you can make this. Patch and Mr. Fix-It. Now, of course, you will have to paint the neck and put a little craft foam in here to fill that in so it fits properly on the peg. And you'll have to clip that and make him a bow tie. But that's really not a bad look there for the two of them. I think it looks really cool. And definitely a cool custom option if you want to do a little kit bash in there and a little bit of modification. You can have Patch and Mr. Fix-It. You can also put the Patch head on the chameleon body as well. These bodies obviously are not anywhere near the muscular stature of Wolverine, but in certain lighting you can pull it off. So the only thing you're going to be able to do to really get that look of Wolverine is to make custom clothing, soft goods, for a Wolverine figure. So I could see that happening, but it'd be a pretty good bit of work. Alright, so here is a sampling of, not all, but a good mix of the Wolverine figures that we've gotten over the course of the years. Here with Hasbro, we got a Weapon X, Brown Suit Wolverine, Logan. We've got this Tiger Stripe, Muramasa. We've got the X-Force, and then Old Man Logan. So nice little mix there of Wolverine figures, so you can get an idea of kind of how he's evolved as a character through the years. In terms of head swaps, the ones I'm most interested to see, if we pop the one that comes with him off, and then we take Old Man Logan head off. They do have different size ball pegs. So the Old Man Logan one is a bit larger, so you'll have to put a little piece of craft foam up inside there just to kind of make it snug up a little bit. But I really like the way that looks. I think that's pretty cool. And then, oh, thank you so much for that. And then also, I'd kind of like to see the, this is the extra head. What figure was he? Can't remember what figure that one came with. Somebody remind me in the comments. This was a extra head, alternate head. I can't remember now which one he came with, but I kind of want to see it on here. Oh yeah, it's a good snug fit, and it's a real good look. Oh, I know what it was. It was the Cowboy Logan variant figure. That's where that came from. So we've got our Cowboy Logan back here, cruising on an iron 883, and he doesn't want to let go of the handlebars. Quit being a jerk, Logan. So we can see they used the same buck for him with the denim and the wife beater in black. So essentially the same figure. Then we get this alternate cowboy head here, and then we have this unmasked head. So either one of those can interchange and I think look really good. So that looks okay on the Tiger Stripe Wolverine buck. Still not wild about this particular head sculpt. I mean, it's alright. It's not horrible, but it's just not one of my favorites, I guess. I definitely like the alternate head from the Cowboy Logan variant much better, and I'd actually like to see that on the Tiger Stripe body, so let's do that real quick. Don't fall over. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. I think this is one of my favorite Wolverine heads right here, actually, that we've gotten so far. If we could get a relaxed head with that hair, I think we'd be in really good shape. It definitely, the hair is similar. It's a little bit different than this hair that we got here with the patch figure, because it's kind of like real round and his is more flat on the top, but it looks good. And last but not least, we have the Cowboy Logan variant head on the Legendary Riders Wolverine body, and I think it looks really good. It's a little pale with that light brown hat and the white wife beater. I think that cowboy hat head looks a lot better on this one with the darker shirt, but it's still not bad. And for one last look, here's Wolverine with the vintage retro wave, whatever, Wolverine, brown suit Wolverine head, and it's a relaxed face, but you know, it's okay. It's not a sculpt I'm wild about, but if you needed to get some pictures with him with a relaxed face, this is probably the closest you're gonna get with an unmasked head, aside from the cowboy hat one. Okay, one more last look. This is the Legendary Riders Wolverine head on the Juggernaut wave, brown suit Wolverine, and that actually doesn't look too bad. I still prefer Cowboy Logan variant head, but it's still not bad. One thing you can do, if you want Wolverine to have some black riding gloves, you can pop the hands off the Muramasa Blade Wolverine and pop them onto here, and that looks alright. I don't think Wolverine would wear gloves because he would probably think that that was sissy, but you can do it. So, how does Wolverine fit on the motorcycle? Very well, I'm glad you asked. You can see it looks really cool on there. It seems just a hair undersized, but not really bad. I do really like the overall design of this. It's a really cool piece. Very glad to have it in my collection. Being a motorcycle lover and a huge Wolverine fan, you can see it just meets all of those. But yeah, he does sit a little high. His butt needs to be planted on the seat a little better, but his legs are too short. He couldn't reach the pegs if he did, so he wouldn't be able to shift gears, poor dude. But looks really awesome, and yeah, I couldn't be happier with it. Like I said, just a little bit of dry brushing on that motor. Maybe do a black wash and then rub it back clean, and then maybe some chrome highlights with a liquid chrome pen, just to kind of add some variety. Would really help set it off, but other than that, it looks fantastic. I'm going to throw a Captain America figure on there, because I think that Captain America would look pretty cool with the bike. And we do, of course, have the Captain America Legendary Riders bike, and they're the same exact vehicle. Just the only difference is the windshield piece that this particular bike does not have, which I do like this better. Like I said, I'm a big Fat Boy fan and Honda Shadow fan, and I see a lot of those elements from both of those bikes in this bike. And I do like the bike without the saddlebags. Let's see if I can get them off without knocking him off of there. Probably not. I should probably have done this off camera. What are we going to do here? We're going to ruin it. Yeah, that's a good snug fit. I'm just going to pick it up. Yeah, that fits on there really good. Like I said, I need to heat these and reform them. But, see if we can get him back on there. Oh yeah, look at me go. So, very cool. Even without the saddlebags, if you prefer that look and don't really like the saddlebag look, that's a real nice look right there as well. I'll probably alternate the two looks myself, because I think I'm not a big saddlebag fan. I mean, they look good, the design and everything looks good with the figure, and it's a nice accessory to have. But just as a personal preference with motorcycles in general, I tend not to be a fan of saddlebags. I know they're useful, but just the overall look, I like just a nice stripped down, simple, classic looking bike myself. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed this review. I know it's an older figure, but I just had to give it a review. It's one of my favorite Marvel Legends pieces, and so glad to have it. Thank you, anonymous person who got it for me for my birthday. You're the bomb. And yeah, can't wait to get this guy out, get some pictures, and do some fun stuff with him. But tune in next time. I'm sure there'll be plenty of reviews on the way. I've got a Iron Man 2020 that was given to me also for my birthday by the Glad Scientist 86 on Instagram. I think it's just Glad Scientist 86, not the Glad. But anyway, Bilal, thank you so much for that. I'll be looking to do that review here soon. And I'm always doing action figure photography on my Instagram page, so just pop in and check it out if you'd like. And please subscribe if you're enjoying my content. I do try to do videos fairly regularly, so stick around for that. And I'll see you next time.